Welcome to the channel, folks. Clunkers and Classics. Last episode, put on new headers, X-pipe race exhaust system, 1-chamber mufflers. Sounds amazing. I'll start it up for you. Uh-oh. She's a little loud, but it's not as loud driving it when you're in the car. So anyway, I like it. So if you haven't watched the last video, watch that. A couple of $100. Got headers and new exhaust. So yeah, we're done with that. Don't know exactly how much horsepower it added, but it probably added quite a bit. The factory catalytic converter was already missing. Our previous owner had taken that off, but it just had this little cheesy single exhaust, little small 2-inch, 1.5, 1 3/4, whatever, cheesy exhaust. Now she's just wide open, no restrictions, should have plenty of power. Now we got to add more power because these things didn't come very much horsepower from the factory. So we're adding quite a bit with open dual exhaust headers and fixing to put a 4-barrel on it. Okay, so in the previous videos I mentioned, you probably can't see it, I bought a 78 Nova a while back. I'm not going to walk over to it, but it has a Edelbrock carburetor 4-barrel and intake on it. Doesn't run worth a shit. The engine shakes. Yeah, somebody mentioned, oh, check the motor mounts. No, it's not the motor mount. Something internally in the engine screwed up, like the timing's off or something. Timing teeth are skipped or something. Anyway, I was going to take the intake and 4-barrel off of it and put it on here, but the 4-barrel on my 76 El Camino, the red one here, the two back 4-barrels, weren't opening. Something's jammed on it, something's linkage is missing or something. So that 4-barrel was great, it opened up, and plus I wanted to check to make sure it wasn't the carburetor that was making that engine shake. So I swapped the 4-barrel from there to there. It runs great on that El Camino. So then I took that 4-barrel from that car and put it on the Nova. So it'll idle and run, just the 4-barrels won't open because the linkage is messed up or missing. So I didn't want to put that carburetor on this car, okay, because of that. And I didn't want to clean up the intake. I think it's just a stock intake on that one. Not quite sure. I can't remember. But it's cheap enough, so we went ahead and bought new stuff. Now I bought a new knockoff Quadrajet. That video's taken off. I doubt this one will. It's funny because you make a video that takes off, like repairing a dash, and when I did the 72 Nova here, this Hugger orange one, and I just had a crappy old dash pad, put a picture of it, said I'm gonna fix this for $10 worth of materials, and I did. Well, over 500,000 views on it. But if I make another one, yeah, it won't get shit for views. So it's just funny the way YouTube works. Every once in a while they throw you a bone. So I bought one Chinese knockoff carb, $150. Put it on the 82 El Camino here. It runs great. Now, starts up great, runs great. I've driven it a bunch. I don't drive it every day though, because people are still commenting, oh, how's it holding up? Well, I don't drive it very much. It doesn't have AC. It's over 100 degrees every day here. And my dog, I don't show her too much, but Nikki, she's in her pen, she's blind. She loves going for rides in the car, and there's, you know, it's very hard to make a dog happy that's blind, because she's, you know, she used to be very depressed about it and everything, and scared and everything else. She's okay now, but anything that makes her happy, I do it. And that's if she wants to go for a ride in the car, she hears me pick up the keys, she just goes bananas, runs around in circles. So I got to take the Avalanche, or the little 4-door. She needs a back seat so she can lay down in there. And then of course, every time I go out, I'll go buy fast food there, get her some chicken nuggets and some, call it snacks, and give her snacks. So anyway, I don't drive this very much. It's just got the one seat, but I'll drive it more once the 100-degree weather goes down. So anyway, it has been working great. It was 150 bucks shipped. It's actually cheaper. You can buy them off eBay. You just put in there, you know, people say, well, where's the link? Where's the link? It's not sponsored. I got to buy it. You just put in Rochester Quadrajet Carburetor. A million of them will pop up. They're not all the same. In fact, this one looks different than that one. So there's a bunch of different Chinese makers of these knockoff Quadrajet carburetors, okay? Maybe I should have bought the same brand as that's in that one, since it's working great, because there was a few comments. Most of the comments were pretty good. There's, oh yeah, I bought one, it works great. Then there was a few that said, oh, I had to change the jets, I couldn't make it work right, blah, 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 blah. Well, you know, maybe if, you know, since I found that one that worked great, maybe I should buy the same brand, but I don't even know what the brand is, some Chinese name. Anyway, I found this one for 135 bucks shipped, tax, everything. If you haven't seen the last video there, got these outside lights. This one might be a little bit of a delay. Just a little bit delay on that one. But yeah, they both work great. Outside lights. Okay. Linking everything in the last video for these if you're interested, solar powered. Okay, so here's the carburetor. See, it looks different. This top part looks like it's different material. Anyway, and to me, all the V8s are the same, but this is specifically for 67 to 73. Why? I'm not sure. Maybe it's a linkage. Now, I got these my old carburetors here. This is the, now we don't have a 4-barrel on the 77 Malibu here. That's a 2-barrel. That's why we're swapping to 4-barrel. I don't have any parts to swap on this from a 4-barrel, linkage or anything. But I know this is the bump up the idle for when you turn the AC on. And the AC's all hooked up in this, even though it needs a charge or something, might have a leak. There's the other light came on there. Oh. When it's dust like that, they go on and off a few times, but then they'll stay on. Okay, so this bumps up the idle a little bit. Somebody said it was for something else too, but that's what I know it's for, is for the AC. When you turn on the AC, that just bumps the idle, just, you know, 100 RPMs or something, so you don't stall out. So I put that on there. It's just one screw right there. You twist it. Got a deal there and a deal there. Put that on and then twist it down, put in one little screw there. Okay, so I put that on there. The linkage on the El Camino, the linkage on its carburetor was different. and I forget which carburetor it is, one of these, and I actually it should be the same here. See this little deal here? All I did was grind that out. Just took a little die grinder and ground the tip of that off, and this whole linkage just comes off. Okay, this one's bolted on. So you take this off, and then you can put it on this shaft. And then I just use JB. It's got a shaft so it doesn't twist. I mean, it's whatever, a keyway type thing. And it goes on there. You just don't want it sliding off. So I put some JB weld in there, but the JB weld didn't held. So I had my MIG welder flux cord, and I just give it one little zap there, and it held it in. So that's how I did the 82 El Camino. Might have to do that to this one. Now it's depending. Now this has got the brackets and cables for a 2-barrel. I don't know how different they're going to be. Probably can't see very good. We'll go over this later. This little bracket here to hold the accelerator cable, it already looks crooked. And then the for the transmission kickdown. Somebody says, "Oh, a TV cable." No, it's not a TV cable. TV cables are for overdrives, $700 4s. This is just a kickdown. So we don't know if this bracket's going to be the same, if the same lengths and everything. That's going to be the only problem swapping this over. Is that. But, well, no. This car originally came with a 305 2-barrel, and Art, previous owner, put in a 350 truck motor 4-barrel that he got from his brother. But then they took the 4-barrel intake off and put on his factory 2-barrel intake and carb. So yeah, it doesn't have anything that is perfect for a 4-barrel, linkage wise, bracket wise. But I'll make something work. I'll weld together one or something. I think I had to do that to another car. Okay, so this is the carburetor. I showed you. It had a little Allen key in here for the brake booster vacuum. So I took that off one of these carburetors. This goes in the back here. And screwed that on there. And then, like I said, put that on there. We may have to change the linkage, but we'll wait till it's on the car. Like I said, there's just one little nut there, and it'll slide right off. Okay, this one does not have a choke. I bought it without a choke. You can buy one with a choke, but it's going to be more. And I figure if I really wanted a choke, I got some on these carburetors here. I could probably figure out how to hook one up. Okay, so then we need an intake. I got an intake here, but it's so dirty and gummed up and everything from an old Silverado truck. And look at how nasty that is. And it's got the EGR. It's got the EGR here with some friggin', I don't know, maybe I took it off. Oh, it was off this one here. This EGR crap. Got tubes down in there. Just a mess. This is the 2-barrel and intake off that red El Camino. We did the same 4-barrel swap on that, and I bought a new intake, 4-barrel intake instead of using that, and I bought another new 4-barrel intake instead of using that on this. So here it is here. The only problem, now it's a little bit high rise. It's okay, it's a dual plane. You can get dual plane or whatever the other one is, but that's more single plane, but that's more for race cars. They don't idle good, and if you've got a street car you want a dual plane. It's going to run so much better. So this is supposed to be a vast improvement over factory, and no EGR bullshit on there. Okay, this is it's actually backwards. That distributor, that's the thermostat there. So it goes like that. Now, didn't realize it, but this is for this. The Edelbrock will fit on here, but it's different bore dimensions than the Rochester Quadrajet. So you got to buy an adapter. I already had one. See the holes in here, but I don't have the bolts, because you need a set of specific weird looking bolts to bolt this to this, and then you got these bolts. I got them that stick up through the bottom, and then that's your Quadrajet would bolt to that. So anyway, these are the bolts here. See, you got a weird head on them, and they go in. They go in here like that, or no, this one. See, they go in there so the head's flush. So that would bolt in like that, and then you have the bolts coming out for your Quadrajet. So I didn't have these bolts. I got one, but I needed 4. So anyway, I bought this adapter kit. It just came in the mail today, luckily. And plus I didn't have any new gaskets. So this is supposed to have 2 gaskets. I haven't unpacked it yet. So you have a gasket here, the adapter, and then another gasket, then the carburetor. Okay? Well, that one, yeah, this one should come with a gasket too. So I think we're set on gaskets. Yeah. Okay, so this carburetor comes with gaskets and a whole bunch of different jets. If you're, live in the mountains or something like that, you can, and little cleaner things there. And it's actually got instructions. I think the last one I bought didn't have instructions. So you can change over the jets if you, need to, run richer, run leaner, something like that. The one I put on the 82 El Camino black one, it run great right out of the box, and that's it. I'm not messing with it. Okay, so this intake was 110 bucks shipped. Pretty good. 135 for the carburetor shipped. But I had to buy the adapter kit, which was 20 bucks. Bring that over here. This is like 20 bucks shipped. And then I bought intake gaskets for, I don't know, another 20 bucks. Something like that. Okay. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Okay. I don't know how much of this I can film or show you. I can show you, tell you about how to do some of this stuff. Yeah, we're gonna have to swap over. This will be for the heater hose here, goes into your coolant. I think that might be for a sensor gauge. That's your thermostat. But these bolts here, what is there? 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. You got to take them 12 bolts out. Now, it's got chrome valve covers on it, and they're kind of rusty. They've been on there forever. The one I did on the El Camino, the valve cover lip was just enough to interfere with this intake a little bit. It's right on the edge. So I had to take the valve. I think I just loosened the valve covers and pulled up the end of them. So I didn't have to take them off and change all the gaskets. I just lifted it up out of the way and put this on. Well, we're going to take the valve covers off of this one because a friend of mine, I should have had him handy, but I think they're in one of these boxes here. That's it. This might be it. He was cleaning out the shop and gave me these Said, hey, you want these? Said, hell yeah. So, got some new chrome valve covers. So we're gonna put them on there. What I do with these is I take a grinder, little die grinder, and grind the edges of these chrome here. And then put your glue and gasket on there. Because otherwise it'd be too slippery and you could get leaks. The gasket could slip out of there. So yeah, we're putting on new chrome valve covers for free, and an intake and a 4-barrel. So it should make it give it more power and make her look pretty good. So distributor, what I do is wherever the rotor is pointing, take the cap off. And this is your bolt here, take out the distributor. It should be a 9/16. Take that bolt out, it has a little clamp to hold it. Once you take that clamp and that bolt out of there, just pop it out. So instead of screwing around at the end, just figure out where that rotor's pointing. Last time it was pointing over here. And all I did was run a piece of, well, I had a piece of wood like this. And I'll show you on the car. Probably won't have as much luck. So when I did the El Camino, it's pointing over here like that. So I put it deal like that, and I put a piece of tape to mark it right here. So when I put the new intake and put the distributor back on, I knew where to put it in partly. Instead of going through all the timing thing and getting the piston up top dead center and all that bullshit, we knew exactly where to pop it in. So mark it. If it's pointing back there, put a piece of masking tape back there or wherever. And that way you can just pop it right back in. You won't have any problems. Okay? So, what else we want to go over? It's getting kind of dark, so I can't show too much tonight. Well, we got lights. I can show you, but that's what I'm basically going to do, is start taking that off. We got to, let me get a light. Get a flashlight here. Okay, took this compressor off to do the headers. Now I got to take it off again, but I just put a couple of bolts in there loosely. But now we got to take it completely off. I didn't disconnect the Freon, or the Freon hoses, but they're empty, so it'll be no problem. Whoever buys this and wants to get the AC running, probably best to put all new seals on. So we're going to disconnect that at the back, one bolt, move these out of the way, take the compressor completely off, because we got to take this bracket off here. Okay, and then we got to take off all the hoses, gas lines, carburetor, distributor, all kinds of stuff. So I'm gonna get rolling with all that. Probably gonna take these. Oh, these aren't. I don't think I put new heater hoses on this. Anyway, one goes here, one goes here. See, the valve covers are just rusty on that back side. Could take some steel wool and clean them up, but hell, I got new ones and I got to take them off anyway, get the intake on. These ones will clean up. I'll show you when I get them off and save them for another project. Already got the new spark plug wires, header spark plug wire boots there for the header so they don't burn up. So yeah, Art put this 2-barrel on there because he said it's for gas mileage, he says. But really, if you got a 4-barrel and keep your foot out of it, I think the 4-barrel gets pretty good gas mileage. So now I'll have 2 of these intakes, 2-barrel intakes and carburetors. And I had some guys, I didn't realize it, but if you do dirt track racing or maybe even some asphalt racing, some of these stock cars there, they only allow 2 barrels. And they come and bought a couple of old motors from me. They're like, hey, you got any 2 barrels and intakes? I don't know if I had one or not. Yeah, I did have one. He goes, yeah, we buy these all the time for our dirt track cars. So I don't know. They may sell pretty good. So I'll have 2 sets of them. Might get my money back to selling them. Get, you know, get a couple $100 back. So I got 2 of them now. Okay, I didn't realize it too when I was looking at intakes and carburetors, but you can buy a converter, a base plate type converter, and convert a 2-barrel intake over to accept the 4-barrel. Of course, the opening's not going to be very big, but I don't, you know, if you don't want to spend an extra $110 on an intake, you can buy a little adapter, you know. But anyway, we're doing all this'll all have to be changed too. We're gonna have to cut that up, splice in a piece of rubber, and connect this because the other one goes on, I think, over here. So we'll have to do some rubber hose. I wanted to put a gas filter on this. I got a bunch of inline gas filters. We'll put one of them on there. Plus it's leaking down there. We got to change the rubber at the bottom. We got a bunch of screwing around to do. I'm gonna get started and I'll let you know how everything's, if I run into problems and what hard stuff that's you need to do. It's got the EGR on it. I think the EGR's there. Anyway, I'm gonna lose all my antifreeze on this, or a bunch of it. So it's gonna get kind of messy, guys. I'm gonna have antifreeze all over the place. But anyway, I'm gonna get started tearing it down. I just wanted to go over everything before I get started. You know, a lot of people, oh, too much rambling, not enough work. Well, if I just record the work, you don't know what the hell, you know, doing. Well, what's that for? Well, what did you take off to get that to fit? What did I just explain stuff in detail, guys, so you know exactly what you need to do the job if you haven't done it. And you know, that's just the way I do videos. Okay, let me get started and I'll be back. Okay guys, give you a little update here. I'm just tearing her down. Okay, you can see where the rotor's pointing. I'll put a little bit of tape. You put a tape or marker right there, so that way you put it right in the same spot when you put it back. Okay, let's see, took off the alternator bracket here because it's in the way. Disconnected the fuel line, brake booster line. Got 1 bolt in behind that distributor right in there. Take that bracket off, probably just suspend it up like this. Got the cap off, got it over here out of the way so we can take this valve cover off. This valve cover here is about ready to come off, nothing in the way. Had to take the carburetor off to get at these bolts here. One there and one over there, I believe. But yeah, these are the intake bolts to take off. 2, 4, 6 on each side. She's almost ready to come off. Might have to bend this out of the way, but it's got a rubber fuel line at the bottom that's leaking. Yeah, that's good right there. And we gotta change that over. Plus this line won't fit to the 4-barrel. We'll have to cut that, put a little piece of rubber in there too. So yeah, other than taking the distributor out, 1 bolt for this. I already took the 1 off. This will be ready to unbolt and lift up. Like I said, see the valve covers, I think they're gonna hit. That's why we're taking them off anyway, to change them. So yeah, she's almost ready to pull. Took the compressor off, just put a bungee cord this out of the way, the AC lines. pretty simple. Just whatever you take off, just remember how to put it back together, or you know, record it, take pictures, something like that. We got a lot of crap that's not going back on, like all this EGR bullshit here. This you know, this went to near the choke of the carburetor, and then all this stuff's not going to be hooked up. It's just all bullshit. Okay, so I think that's about it. Got the carburetor sitting here, compressor. Oh, I also forgot to mention I bought a new chrome air cleaner too. But I didn't realize this air cleaner was actually as an adapter for a 2-barrel, so you can actually put that on a 4-barrel. So it could probably be steel wooled up. We'll just put it on a junker car, probably that 78 Nova. Just got a new one. I usually buy black because they don't rust, but anyway, bought that chrome one. The ideal for maximum horsepower air cleaner to buy is the big one like that, but with the air filter on the top. That's proven maximum horsepower on the dyno. Have a full open air cleaner. I've seen that on like that Power Nation show, but they are very, very expensive. All air cleaners are, even ones like that. This is like 35 bucks. It's the cheapest air cleaner you can get. Crazy. Okay, I got the adapter on there. There's those little Allen screws, so the carburetor is ready to bolt on, but we can't bolt that on till at the end, because you got to get at these bolts here to bolt it on. I guess that's all I need to go over. Okay, I'll come back when I pull the valve covers and pull the intake, and then we'll clean her up real good and get her ready to seal the new stuff on there. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, got the intake and the valve covers off. Okay, you can see how I just kind of tied that up with a wire, some of this up with the masking tape, just get everything out of the way nice and neat. Don't be jerking around wires and busting hoses and stuff like that. Just be very methodic and take everything off. Okay, so what I like to do, now you got to be careful. You got water jackets here in the front and the back. What I did was take the thermostat housing off, got paper towels in there, sopped up as much water as I could, antifreeze. Okay, then pulled the intake, and then using paper towels, sticking them in there, sopping up what's in here. That way it'll save antifreeze and stuff from getting in here, which goes right to your engine, right to your oil pan. If that happens, you get a bunch of antifreeze in there, well, you're gonna have to do an oil change. But I think I got it pretty good. So what I like to use is a razor blade, and hold with one hand a paper towel here, and then scrape with a razor blade like that, and get all the old gasket and glue and stuff off there. Okay, so and then use a shop vac right here, and vacuum all in here, get all the little bits of gasket material and stuff out of there. Just make sure it's real clean. You can see a little bit in here, but luckily these gaskets come off in one piece. Sometimes they'll be really messed up. You got little bits and pieces everywhere. See, it's all in one piece on there. So sometimes it's just a real mess. Did I show that? It's still all in one piece on there, but little bits of stuff still so gets in there. Okay, so there's the intake gaskets. Fixing to put them on, and the intake. And we'll get all that situated and put the valve covers on last. But yeah, there's just a little bit of stuff in there, but nothing to worry about really. Okay. Oh, then I use a paper towel and some gasoline, and then wipe it after you razor blade it down. Wipe it all down with gasoline or whatever you want to use. Use paint thinner, gasoline. Gasoline's the cheapest. Okay, so yeah, she's ready. You just you want to put a bunch of gasket sealer around these water jackets here and around here. Some people say that don't use the rubber gaskets that are supplied. I put them in there. And when you tighten the intake down, if they squish halfway out or whatever, so what? At least it's sealed in there. But put gasket sealer at the bottom and on the top of them. And then just smush them down in there as you know, as it's tightening. That's what it's going to do. I wouldn't rely on just gasket material there. I mean, you could if you want, but so yeah, you want to put these water jacket bolts here, the bolts that go in that, I like to coat them with gasket sealer and screw them in there. Just give it a little extra protection. So I think that's about it. Just put the intake on there, and then the valve covers on there. Same thing here. I haven't wiped down these areas of the valve cover yet. Well, I kind of wiped down this area here, but need to wipe down the gaskets real good. Here's the old intake. Here's the old intake here with all this EGR bullshit. See, it's got the tube going down there, which makes it a little difficult to remove. And this just it's the EGR. Okay, yeah, then we'll just be taking off that. Oh shit, oh no, I thought that was broke. And then this deal here. Pretty much all, well, there are other vacuum stuff for the AC heater temperature controls that work off some of this, but at least, you know, this was the EGR thing. Same with this and this. We don't need any of that. The intake, or the the intake gaskets come with a new gasket for the distributor. And yeah, put some gasket sealer around threads of this. It's where the heater hose hooks up. Looks like it's been replaced at one point. If it's original, it's going to be all rotted. And it'll be rotted right in there mainly, but there too. That's about it, really. I'll show you when I start putting stuff on there. Right now, I'm going to put the gaskets on and the intake on. And I'll be back. Okay, guys, the sun's right above my head. It's going to be 102 today. Okay, so there's the intake on there. Put the intake on, stabbed in the carburetor. That back bracket of the accelerator kickdown, it doesn't fit on there. But I think it needs to be raised up anyway because this intake's higher. So I stuck a bolt with a thread on each end so we can adjust this up and just put a nut on it. And this one here is supposed to go in there, but we'll screw around with that later. But yeah, just torqued all the bolts down on the intake, got all the gaskets in there, so that's done. And just got to put on the carburetor, thermostat, little water things, valve covers, and all that. So I'll do that later today once the sun starts going down. It's too damn hot. Okay, we'll see you back here later. Okay guys, it's the next day. Okay, I took the chrome thermostat off the 78 Nova and put it on here, and put this one on it. It didn't have a thermostat in it. Can't believe Art was running it without a thermostat. So anyway, yeah, I took the thermostat out of the Nova and that off there because the original one had those vacuum things on there that we don't need anymore. Okay, the only problem, this alternator bracket, you know, bolts there for the adjustment, then here and here. Well, this spot for it on the intake wasn't long enough, or it wasn't. Anyway, I had to cut the little bracket there, put a washer on it. It should be all right. Other than that, I think everything fit okay. Oh, the valve covers. I put this side on first, and sure enough, the lip hit this edge here. So I tightened it, banged it down a little bit with a screwdriver and a hammer. Kept doing that, got it bent in behind this. So on this side, I cut out a little section there so it fit right on there. So yeah, that's okay. So we just got the carburetor to go. Got to hook up, mount this once we get the right spot figured out. And put on the AC compressor. I think that's about it. Oh no, and then we got to do this fuel line here. Like I said, down the bottom it's all leaking on the rubber hose. So I think that's about it. Okay, well, let me get some more done and I'll be back. Okay guys, this is the linkage here off the 2-barrel. That was accelerator, cruise control, kickdown, then a spring. So I found one off a 4-barrel. So I didn't want to cut this one up. This carburetor still works. I'll probably be able to sell it. This carburetor, I don't know what's wrong with it. But it's the same thing. Except, you know, this one's got an idle screw here, which this one doesn't. And then it's got some little linkage there that we don't need. Anyway, that is the same deals on it. Okay, so all I did was take a grinder. You can see this deal here. It's the same on here. So this went like that. I just took a grinder and pried it off of there. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, like I mentioned, this one unbolts. Unbolts right there. Then this one should go on there. I think the last one I had to wallow this hole out a little bit. But anyway, it goes in there something like that. And yeah, this is gonna be wrong. It's gonna be too short. The one on the Nova's wrong too. So I think the Nova used to be a 2-barrel. Anyway, I think that all this stuff should be up here farther. It ain't gonna fit. So we're gonna have to do something. When I did the same thing on the 76 Red El Camino, I used the bracket and everything off of a Silverado parts car. And I don't think I got any more old school 4-barrel engines with that bracketry stuff on there. But anyway, let me get this on there. And like I said, I tried JB Weld, but it wouldn't stick, I guess, to this aluminum, whatever it is. And I just had to do a little tack weld right there, and it stayed in there on the El Camino. So anyway, let me take that off. I'll be back. Okay, you just take this nut off, and that went on there like that. So you just take that nut off there, Or was it up? Hang on, I got it wrong. It was like this. Like that, I believe. Okay. So that's what it fits on. This looks to be the same size. But anyway, it's supposed to go. Oh, hang on. Yeah, like just like that. But it needs to be bored out just a little bit, and should be able to just stick this nut on here, and with a little washer. Should be able to. I don't know what happened to the other, how I did the other one. I thought I just did a little tack on there, but anyway, let me take a drill bit and just kind of wallow that out just a hair, and see if it fits on there. I'll be back. Okay guys, I just wallowed it out a little bit, and it bolted right on there, so that'll work. Okay, I just got to do something about that bracket and the fuel line here. And so it bolts up a different place. Like I said, the rubber down here is leaking, so we're gonna do something with all that. So I'll be back, probably be later tonight. Starting to get hot out. Okay guys, she fired right up. I hooked up the air compressor and redid this fuel line. It went down in behind here and had a rubber hose. Anyway, I made it come out this way and put in a fuel filter right there. Just checking for leaks, it should be all right. Put in new hose there, and I just like putting a see-through filter so I can see if there's actual gas coming up, and to see what color it is, because these cars sit around. I want to see if the gas goes bad. If it's dark yellow, then. But anyway, she fired right up and idled. I haven't done no adjustments to it. Opens up. Somebody commented, oh, that four barrel won't open up if you're idling. You got to be driving it. No, you don't. See it opening up. Yeah, so I think that's about it, other than getting that linkage. I haven't hooked up the linkage or anything. I'll have to I think I'll wait till tomorrow morning and come out here. Might have to extend that or whatever to make it fit. But it's just metal. I got a bunch of brackets kind of like that. I can weld to and move it up and get all them, get all this where it's supposed to be. But right now, just checking out the carburetor, the timing, the fuel leaks, all that. Everything looks good. So we'll just got to adjust the timing a little bit. Seems to start up okay. Yeah, I think she'll be all right. The air cleaner right here, I had that on. Oh, I got that little rubber. rubber block off PCV thing. Yeah, when I talked about that, the best air cleaner has a filter up here, also here. It just got a filter there and a filter here. That's the best ones you can get. So whenever I win the lottery, I'll buy all them for all my cars. But until then, we're just cheaping out. Yeah, she runs pretty good. Runs real good. A little bit something wrong with this carburetor here. It was kind of idling a little bit weird. Also cleaned up the contacts in the distributor. Take a little sandpaper, then blow it out with air. Got all that done. So yeah, all it is getting that linkage bracket in the right position. That's it. May mess with the master cylinder. I think it's leaking at the back right there, but I'm not positive. I'll have to check. Need to drive it around some more. Yeah, it's half low. I just filled it up there the other day. And I just drove it around the property a couple of times. I think it's right there, but yeah, it has to be. It has to be because there's no leaks around, no tires or nothing. So anyway, I don't know if we'll do that this video or not, but I'll probably gotta replace that master cylinder and bleed the brakes. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow. Okay guys, it's supposed to be 104 today, but a whole bunch of rain clouds. It's 10 in the morning. Rain clouds came in. It's been spitting out. I don't know when the 104 is. It'll probably be this afternoon. Sky will clear up, and man, 104 though. It's normal temperature should be about mid-90s. Okay, so what I did with this bracket, this end here was down here, so I cut that off, bolted it to the carburetor, then welded this to that. Same on this side. Well, not same on that side, but I made a little bracket that it's supposed to bolt. That piece I just welded on is supposed to bolt into there, but I got a bracket from there and welded it to here and the bottom of that bracket. And that bracket should have been on the, see it? It's supposed to bolt into here and here, but we had to move it forward. So now we kind of got it hanging out the carburetor, and so this problem must have still been with it, but this is the accelerator cable, the gas pedal. This is for the cruise control here, but it doesn't go in or out, and it comes over here, and it's all burnt up and stuff right in here. So if I left that on there, it just goes like this when I hit the gas. So I'm gonna leave it disconnected. Basically, you're gonna need that cable, and it goes all the way to here to this cruise control. I'm not gonna mess with the cruise control, but whoever buys it can. So we're just gonna leave that hanging so it doesn't bind up. Now the kickdown, I think this is too far here, so we're gonna have to do something about that. I was just looking at my other cars. It should be over here somewhere. I don't think quite in the middle, more on this side. But on the Chevelle, I have one of these bolted to the original one because it was too short too. Now, I can't remember doing it. I don't think I did do it. I think I had a helper do it there, because it was like this when we had a set of aluminum valve covers and an intake and a full barrel. I forget where I got them all from, but we're doing that engine. I said, I just put all this stuff on there. So I think he rigged that up. But anyway, there'll be a way to rig that up. It'll run just fine, but we don't want that giving it about a quarter gas. It's going to kick down into second. We don't want that. So after I drive it, I'll get something in there and adjust it. But other than that, I think it's fine. The little 2-barrel carburetor didn't have this on there. I don't know if this was the wire for it or not. Anyway, I just stuck that on there. I think that's it, guys. I think that's it. Okay, let me figure out on that master cylinder. Might take that off and top it off with water, run it for a while, make sure there's no leaks anywhere, get it up to operating temperature, make sure the gauge works. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, she's running good. So I drove it around the property a few times, and yeah, the back of the master cylinder's leaking. So I'm going to check if the one is good on the parts car. It should be, the gold one. And swap it over and bleed the brakes. But now the sun's coming out, so probably will get up to 104. Anyway, I'll be back. Okay guys, out here at night, because it was 104 yesterday, or today, and it did get up that high. It was hot. And it's going to be 105 tomorrow, but then the rest of the week it's going to be in the 90s. So we just had 2 freakish days of 104, 105. So but in the morning wasn't bad. I got a lot done. Well, it's pretty much done. So I've been out here. This is the master cylinder from it. It was leaking in here. It's all leaking around this seal, and the brake booster, when I took it off, it was all fluid in there too, in that groove. So it was all leaking down. So that was the problem. From what I remember, the parts car had good brakes, because I even drove it, took it for a test drive, did some burnouts, and took the cap off. It was full. So I took it off the parts car, and that's it there. It's a little bit different. You can see that's square, and this is more round. But, you know, they've been swapped over the years. Oh, I know this one has, because this one's these things are all rounded off. You know, Art or somebody that worked on this car for Art rounded them off, putting on a new one or something. So anyway, dumped all the old fluid out, put in new fluid, and probably just got to bleed the brakes. I haven't checked the brake pedal yet. I just filled it up with fluid and put the cap on. We'll let it self bleed down in there, and then probably tomorrow morning I'll have to go around and bleed all the rims and tires. Okay, so yeah, it seems to work good. We will take it for a test drive. I mean, I drove it around here and really romped on it, man. Them 4 barrels open up, just boop. Tires are flying up, dirt and grass and everything, and I think it's just a 1-wheel peel on that passenger rear, but you know, they're big, pretty big wide tires, so it was making a big ruckus. But we'll take it for a ride on the road after it's painted, which will be the next video. So after I bleed the brakes, I'm going to start sanding on it. I'm going to sand all this areas that I spotted in, and but we're not sanding the silver. You know, it's getting 2 big stripes on here. Still got all them friggin' bugs stuff floating around. So I'll like sand up to here, and then whenever I mask off the stripes, I'll just hand sand, dry sand the areas that need to be sanded, and have a wet paper towel in my hand and wipe off the dust. Because what I'm going to do now, like I said, is sand all, you know, re-sand all the areas like from here up, and then wash the whole car real good. So after I mask the stripes up, I'm not going to be able to wash it. So that's what I mean. Okay, but yeah, I'm going to repaint all this black in here. So I'm going to sand all that area, the whole back area, and all the, like I said, that'll be next video. Mask off the stripes, paint it all black, and then that'll probably be it for that video. And then we'll have one last video when we'll go for a test drive in it. We'll go for a ride down the road. We'll put the stuff back together. It's not going to be much. I'll probably just take off these headlight bezels, put in the marker lights, and oh, we got the side moldings to go. I got a red pinstripe that's probably going to go around. We'll do all that. Put the moldings around the windshield. I'll go back down to that wrecking yard and see if I can get them to order me a windshield and put that in. And then, yeah, put the chrome moldings on it. Just whatever needs buttoning up. But, yeah. So there's just 2 videos left on this, and it's done. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to mention. Now, these lights are really handy. I mentioned about another video. I'm going to leave the link in the description if you want to check them out. Free power, solar power, free power. I wish I could afford to power my whole house and property, maybe one day, but I live in the country here at Co-op Electric, so it's not the greedy power companies. Well, to a certain extent it is, but my electric bill is shit here. It's like $100 a month, you know, to run a house and a shop and everything. I don't have the biggest compressor or, you know, the biggest welders that are using up a lot of juice, but you know, regular house, electric hot water heater and all that stuff. But so it's not bad, but I just like the idea of solar power. So maybe one day we'll get some big solar panels here and go completely off grid. Okay. The other thing I'll leave in the link in the description is for, I just got this all full of mess and had a bunch of leaves here. There's my little Jeep. I think the battery's completely cooked in this. Like the other Jeep, I can start it up, let it run for a little while, turn it off, and it'll start up again. This one did, but now it doesn't. And according to this little charger here, this little red light means it's bad battery, but it's still sparking, so I don't know if it's putting juice in there or not. I do have another battery charger with a fast charge on it, and we kind of zap it back to life, but most likely it's completely dead, which is the point for the other sponsor, which, speaking of solar, you probably can't see very good. This is a solar panel here. Okay, they sent me 4 of them. I mentioned it in another video. I'll mention in this one too, because I think it's a pretty good concept. And it plugs into your cigarette lighter, or you can get 2 little cables. It comes with 2 little cables like this, and you can put it directly on your battery. So then you can remote put that. If you just got a car in your garage and you want to maintain the battery on it, you could put on the little cables and then stick this thing outside in the sun. But it doesn't charge a battery, it maintains it. So you got to have a charged battery, and then the solar trickle charger will keep it from going dead. Okay, so that's what they're for. They sent me 4 of them. We're still kind of testing them out. Like I said, I'm trying to get this battery to work. I charged up the other Jeep there the other day a little bit. I just let it run for about 10, 15, 20 minutes, and it started back up, so I turned it off. So we'll check this charger, or check it in a few days and see if it's stays up, the battery. But anyway, yeah, there's a link in the description with a I think it's directly, the code is directly in the link. So really it was because somebody asked me how much they were, so I clicked the link. They're originally $42.99, but if you click that link with the code, it's 27 bucks on Amazon. So pretty good deal, I think. But like I said, we're still kind of checking them out. I got them on 4 cars. We'll check. Like I said, I don't think they're going to charge a battery that's bad. But anyway, check them out, and check these lights out. Like I said, I only get sponsored stuff that I can use and you guys could use. So if you got a shop, or you don't even have to have an outside shop, you got a carport, stick them on a carport, front of your, back of your house, deck on your house, you can stick them anywhere. And put a pole up, get a pole, stick them anywhere, middle of your yard. Like I said, I like them because it's outside, and summer, I got to work outside a lot. But anyway, enough rambling. I think the carburetor, and oh, by the way, the intake is aluminum. It's light, really light. Carburetor's a lot lighter than the factory one, so it's all lightweight stuff. Seems to work. So they're not sponsored, but you know, doesn't matter. I'll tell you guys a good deal if it's a good deal. I think it's a pretty good deal. Yeah, somebody mentioned, oh, just rebuild the old one, or oh, if I wasn't smart enough to rebuild, I'd buy one, but they're pretty simple. Well, figure it this way, guys. You know, like the carburetor that was on the Silverado, had been in the junkyard for like 30 something years, out in the weather, no air cleaner on it. You got a deteriorated friggin' carburetor that's been full of water and rat shit in there for 30 years. You really want to rebuild that, or you want to spend 135 bucks and get a new one? You know, you get one like that other one I showed you, it was missing linkage for the 4-barrel. 4-barrel wouldn't open, little linkages missing. Well, you know, if you just got one car and one carburetor, well, where are you going to get them linkages from? You're going to spend hours hunting on eBay trying to find pieces of linkage and hoping they work? And then what's a carb kit cost? I don't even know what a carb kit costs for one of these. And then you got to hope everything's good inside. You get the carb kit, well, there's a lot of stuff in there that's not included. So you tear the carburetor apart, and then the floats or whatever are busted or bent. Somebody's been monkeying with it, and stuff is all screwed up. And you spend hours and hours and hours of screwing around, where you can just 135 bucks, put it on there right out of the box, and fires right up, and you're down the road. So you know, it's up to you guys on these carburetors, but you know, I guess if you had a brand new car in '77, and in '78 you had a carb problem, yeah, you would fix it. You wouldn't buy a new carburetor 1 year old, but when the thing's 50 years old, and it's been monkeyed with so many times by so many people, and missing linkages, and people have Bubba rigged up stuff, just get a brand new one and put it on there. So, you know, just a rant, guys, for some people that just don't understand what it's for. You know, why you could buy a new carburetor for 135 bucks. You can't even you take off your old car. Even if you can't rebuild it and you bring it into a mechanic, it's going to cost 135 bucks just for the mechanic to look at it and write up an estimate for you. By the time he's done, it's going to be 800, 900 bucks. Some guy posted, oh, I charge 800 bucks to rebuild a Quadrajet. Well, good for you. So anyway, yeah, if you want to get ripped off, go for it. But this is a cheap alternative. You want to get up, get it rolling, and, you know, nothing's more frustrating than having a car done and carburetor don't work. Anyway, I'm just ranting at this point. I just wanted to get that off my chest for the dumb comments. Okay, guys, I think that's it. Next video, paint. It's gonna look good. So we'll go over all the paint and stuff and all that next video. Okay, well, subscribe if you haven't. Bottom right hand corner of the screen. It's free, doesn't cost anything. And like, comment, share, all that stuff, and we'll see y'all next video. Thanks everybody for watching.